Well, the Nuggets are back at ball and with a whole new look for tonight's game against the Bulls.
Uninsured drivers in Colorado are under the microscope. How a new crackdown could make Colorado roads safer.
Taking a live look right now at Vail, where snow is finally falling. Look at this. Parts of the mountains could get 1 to 3 inches of fresh powder. Meteorologist Jaden Knowles is tracking those conditions. We're going to check in with him in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey here with Jordan, Erica, and Katie.
Good morning, everybody. And Katie, it is possible that we could actually see our first snowfall in the metro area this week.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It all depends on just how cold this next system will be, but it won't be until Thursday into Friday we'll be tracking that. So we'll be talking about that all week. Let's talk about right now, because we are seeing some winter weather in portions of the high country. This morning here in Denver, it's a beautiful start. We're coming off a very warm weekend as well. Temperatures in the 70s Saturday and Sunday. Today, it's going to be a little bit cooler. So heading off to school this morning, the kids, jacket, sweatshirt weather. There's more of a chill in the air. Later on today, we're expecting temperatures still on the mild side, around 5 to 10 degrees above average, right around the upper 50s, low 60s by 3 p.m. The I-70 drive, you will find some winter driving conditions. There's CDOT. The plows give them space if you are traveling in and around the high country. We're starting to see more of those snow showers pick up over Loveland ski area. Aspen off and on, light snow at this hour, and we have an area of low pressure off to the southwest. That's bringing in some of that precipitation, which is much needed and welcome, especially for our ski resorts. But here's what it looks like. You will find some winter driving conditions over portions, especially over higher mountain passes. Vail Pass did close for a time last night, but this morning it has since reopened. Off and on showers expected in the mountains. Now, here across the plains, the biggest impact for the Denver area, strong gusty winds from the west. So areas of blowing snow over our northern Front Range mountains and foothills. Some brief rain shower activity over the far northeastern corner of Colorado before things calm down and clear out later on tonight. Temperature-wise, around 60 degrees for today. Strong winds from the west. Tomorrow, we'll also be talking about the 60s. We'll look ahead, though, Thursday into Friday. That's our next best chance for picking up some much-needed precipitation here in Denver and potentially our first snowfall. Details coming up in your 7-day forecast. But first, Erica, if people are heading out tonight.
Right now, we've issued a traffic impact alert, Katie, at 7:03. We are following a crash that has westbound I-70 closed this morning as you make your way into the Arvada area. It's between Sheridan and Wadsworth. Sky9 just got up over the area where we can certainly see the delays out here. Looks like we can't quite see the closure from this camera. However, we can from my CDOT camera, so I do want to take you over that way. Check this out. Full stop on westbound 76, again, between Sheridan and Wadsworth this morning. We can see emergency crews blocking the interstate here. We're seeing additional emergency crews on the right-hand side of the interstate. There is absolutely no traffic flow right now here. So this is a parking lot. I don't want anyone to have to get stuck in this. And then, like Katie's been talking about and we've been talking about all morning, flakes are falling in the high country. I-70 here about 3 miles west of Vail Pass, where we see flurries coming down, a lot of accumulation on the grass, but crews are working really hard to keep the interstate clear. And we're actually looking pretty good out on the interstate, even though that snow is actively falling right now. Let's take you over to what I'm seeing on our map. So like I said, initial reports, westbound 76 crash between Sheridan and Wadsworth. In the last 15 minutes or so, we got reports that the interstate is closed. We can, of course, see that in our cameras. That's what that purple indicates here. So anyone coming through, Denver, Berkeley area in toward Arvada, you rely on westbound 76. Don't get stuck in that parking lot on the interstate. I-70 West is going to be a fantastic workaround. It is green, clear, and totally open. Travel for you across the rest of the metro. I do want to point out this wreck is clear. Our maps just have not updated yet. Not looking terrible elsewhere. 5-minute slowdown making your way into Commerce City on westbound 76.
Erica, thank you. Today, the Inglewood police officer who was fired after being accused of using an illegal chokehold is expected to make his first court appearance. Officer Ryan Vecina lost his job and faces charges of assault and official misconduct after an incident on October 8th. Dash and body camera footage captured what happened. Vecina stopped the 20-year-old man for rolling through a stop sign. He is accused of violating state law and department policy. Inglewood's chief said the man did nothing to warrant the officer's response.
Intersections across Denver might seem like any other, except new research from Children's Hospital Colorado found they're actually not. The study reveals certain areas pose greater dangers to pedestrians, and the risk correlates directly with neighborhood disadvantage. What they found is that how disadvantaged a neighborhood has a direct impact on the number of severity of pedestrian auto crashes, particularly those involving children. Other factors are things like bus lines, if it's near a school, the speed of traffic, for instance, as well. The doctors behind this research say that it can be used to advocate for more safety protocols and changes.
I think our data also show that kids are more likely to be hit by cars in the after school hours. And so you can use that information to say, okay, maybe in these neighborhoods where the incidence of auto pedestrian injuries is high, like we can advocate for crossing guards after school when school is letting out. We can advocate for slower speed limits, right, in these specific intersections.
The research was funded by a 2-year grant, which is about to come to an end. However, doctors say they will continue to work on expanding this.
Last week, we told you about law enforcement cracking down on expired registration and temp tags, and now they're cracking down on uninsured drivers.
Yeah, you're going to see the warnings on all those electronic signs. I know you already saw them on driving down your way to work.
They're all along I-25.
Yeah, well, our Brianna Fernandez also saw them. She's live in Denver. Brianna, our state ranks in the top 10 for most uninsured drivers. Not exactly the list that we want to be on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I want to show you those signs for those who probably aren't aware or haven't seen them on your way to work or on your way home. You can see it right here. It's kind of hard to tell now, you guys, but an hour ago it was much different. Basically, it says driving without insurance is a crime. So this is a snowball effect because more drivers without insurance who get in a crash means more claims, and insurance rates then goes up for everyone. So if you've driven on the interstate, maybe in the past 2 weeks, you probably have seen those big message boards. If you take a look at your screen, here's some better video for you. Now, this is all part of Governor Jared Polis's new roadmap to reduce auto insurance premium. It is a plan aimed at cutting costs and making coverage more affordable for drivers statewide. Right now, car insurance premiums can average $3,000 a year. Colorado State Patrol, Department of Transportation, and Revenue are all actively working together to help make our roads safer. Now, according to Carol Walker, Executive Director for Rocky Mountain Insurance Association, Colorado is ranked 9th for the number of uninsured drivers. Walker says drivers without insurance tend to engage in unsafe driving behaviors, and with insurance so high, some people are cutting corners to save money.
The biggest reason really is affordability. So there are people that are really struggling, that are making a decision between groceries and car insurance, and then they got to get to work, and they're making that choice. But we also see just scufflaws that are always going to just flout the law. They have a number of DUIs, a number of crashes. And so uninsured driver is really looking at, I'm going to take a gamble.
Yeah, so here in Colorado, insurance is required. So when you register your car, you have to show proof of insurance. But like we've seen in the past and really out on the roads, we have seen enforcement from Denver Police, Aurora Police, really a lot of police agencies that are cracking down on cars that don't have an active registration. So if your registration is expired, very expired, we've seen 2 to 3 years, or temporary tags that have not been renewed, that also probably means that insurance is probably expired as well. For now, I'm live here in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
Brianna, thank you. Colorado health insurance premiums on the ACA marketplace are set to double next year as enhanced federal subsidies expire. That's according to the state's Department of Insurance. And the changes could cost families hundreds of extra dollars each month. Officials estimate 75,000 Coloradans will lose coverage, and hospitals warn more uninsured patients will drive up ER use and costs. About 225,000 residents rely on the federal tax credits, which are set to end with no guarantee Congress will renew them. Thanksgiving is next week, and travelers already have a reason to be thankful. Airlines are resuming their normal schedules in the U.S. this morning. The FAA says it is lifting flight restrictions that affected 40 major airports during the government shutdown. The news might be a relief for people flying over Thanksgiving weekend. It is the busiest air travel period of the year, according to TSA data. Experts say passengers should still check airline apps for delays or cancellations, but more for typical reasons like weather.